Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Mxgp 2021 career mode. In today's episode we are off to Italy once again and we have the finale of season 1. Quick look at the championship shows we have 2 points going into the final round. Now in qualifying we actually had our best qualifying of the year. We came home in P16, so the pace didn't look to be that bad. We had some good outright one lap pace, but the only thing was I was a bit concerned again about my Honda and how it would fare up. So going into race 1 here, I was a little bit tentative still, wondering how I would get on with my pace, especially with this bike. So we really need a good start here, and unfortunately we don't get one. We just mistimed the gates, but we do manage to cut to the inside like we always do and get up to P4, just cut off Jed Beaton. We have a look up the inside of Rowan van der Moostik, but unfortunately he uses the outside berm and just manages to hold P3. Now we just want to tuck in behind these boys if we can and go on with these and see can we gap Jed Beaton. Anything at all will do. We just can't afford to leave Beaton through. 2 points is the gap. If he finishes ahead of us, it'll go down to the final race, and that is not something either of us want, in my opinion. I just want to get it done now. This is a fast track here, especially the opening half of the lap. There's quite a bit of fastness, and then we actually make a big mistake here out of the track. I don't know how we didn't get respawned. The game does not like you going outside the track. That is the gas of gifting trying to put a move on me, and we just hold off for now. Again, making that mistake running off track cost me a small bit of time, but it wasn't too bad. But we're fast forward now to a minute ahead of time and we're up against Viala. We managed to sneak into P3. The leader has absolutely checked out. We're riding pretty well. We're catching and passing riders for once, so things aren't going too badly at the moment. Across the line we come, P3. This would be a brilliant finish if I could keep it here. Now, again, we're still having that rear end issue with this Honda where just spontaneously lets go. So it was in the back of my mind that I had to be careful. I couldn't really abuse this bike too much and ride too hard like I could with the Husqvarna. So I had it in my mind that I just needed to manage my pace. If I could bring home P3, it would be good. Viala is in P4 and I think it is Jed Beaton who is in P5 currently. So as of right now, everything is going to plan. So we'll jump ahead now and we're kind of catching Van der Moosdijk, and he is catching the leader. It is one of the Yamahas, and that is another Yamaha. Up my inside he goes and pushes me out of the berm, and we're back to P4. And then Viala slipped through, so in a split second we dropped 2 positions. Now we do try and fight back against the KTM, but we don't seem to have a way around it at the minute. And look who's coming back into it now. We're about to lose a position to Jed Beaton, but we're going to try our best to keep ahead of him. We need to beat him in this race. Just need to take a bit of pressure off going into race 2, especially with this Honda acting up. I don't want to have to go into the last race needing to beat him and beat him by a well just to make up the points. I want to have a couple, I'd like to have 5 or 10 points over going into the final race. I don't think I'm going to have that much of an advantage, but you never know. We'll have to see how he gets on. He might crash, I might crash, and it is a lot more likely I'll crash than Beaton, I reckon. But we make a mistake in here and we have lost the position to Jed Beaton. We've fallen out of that rut there and he just managed to sneak up on the inside line. So we're going to try and fight hard here and regain that position. So we're right on his back wheel now, but his pace will be strong enough to pull away if he's given the opportunity. So for me, it's crucial we try and strike back as quick as possible. Try and take a tighter line here, but unfortunately we just lose the rear end again, and that's giving him about a half a second lead over me. Again, we go to the tight one here and we take some time out of him, in fairness. Again, risking everything. Viala in P4 has come off just up the road. You can see he's just ahead of Jed Beaton now. Again, we go to the tight line, try and ride it as hard as possible. This time around we actually have contact with the main championship rival. Almost knock him off. There would be huge controversy if we collided and one of us fell off. I go really aggressive there to block him off, but he takes a nice swooping line and actually gets good drive out of that tight right hander and gets himself back in front. So 2 laps remaining in race 1 here in the finale. So I nearly fell there as well. You just didn't see. You might have seen that I slid off the kind of side of the jump there. Whatever, it was a bit of a weird little glitch, but I just slid down the side of the jump. But Viale now looks to be labouring a small bit after getting passed by Jed Beaton and having his own crash. So we're going to try our best to see can we get Viale as well. Into the inside we go, and that should be the KTM disposed of. So now again, trying our best to stick with Jed, trying to keep on the back wheel of the New Zealander. And 2 laps to go now. We have to try and put a move on him at some point. This bit of track here is lovely. You can really go aggressive on it. We switch to the inside. We try a little dive. And we actually bounce off him and land on him. Small shake of the head there from Jed. He wasn't happy with that one. Bit too aggressive in my end. But everything has to be done in the championship. So now we're sitting in P4. Once again, exactly the same issue. And unfortunately here we jump into his line. And we collide. We have taken out our main championship rival. 2 mistakes in a couple of seconds ends up with Jed Beaton on the deck. And we're coming out to start the final lap in the split second, and we have caused uproar by taking out Jed Beaton. Now fortunately for him, he has regained, he got back on really quickly and he's right behind me again, so he actually hasn't lost that much time. But I still felt bad that I had unfortunately taken him out. But we come to the end of race 1 now. It is going to be P4. Up to the line we come. It is a couple of points at least over Jed Beaton. So race 2 now we'll have. So he came directly behind me, so only in 2 points. So it's only 4 points. So we have 4 points to play with. Final race of the season. What can we do? Best thing we could do now, go out, get an early lead and see can we just check out. That's the plan, but everyone's going to want to do that, so it's not going to be easy, this one. Right next to our title compatriot in the final race, we equal each other off the line, and there's contact there between one of the Yamas. We actually managed to, we didn't get the whole shot, but we did get an early lead, so straight away into the lead, just what we wanted to do. And now it's all about what we can do from the front. Can we get our head down and ride our best race of the season when it's the most important race of the season for us? So I don't know where Beaton is right now. He looked like he got beaten up at the start by the Yamahas of Renoir and Diego Gertz. So for me, the Yamahas are doing me a favour. But right now we're riding hard and we're riding stylish, just trying to bridge a bit of a gap on this enjoyable track. So it's imperative now I don't make many mistakes. And right now, again, just getting stuck in between 2 lines, and that is Van der Moosdijk and factory Honda rider of, as we actually make a bit of a balls there, and someone might take it up the inside, but I'm lucky I didn't crash there. I made a mistake in the previous corner, that cost me drive up the mound, and then I lost it all and just stuck it up the inside and managed to get the move done. But it was a bit risky, but we managed to retake the lead, and now we can try and push on again. But just in there, the front tucked, just say it on somehow. I think that is Beaton in P4. Moosdijk is directly behind me, and then Ruben Fernandez in P3 on the factory HRC bike. And you think now he would be backing up the pack, trying to get me some space to get Honda a bit of team orders, but it doesn't look like it. He's again, Honda's last 2 races in Italy have really tried to sacrifice me. They're not trying to help me out at all here. It has to be done all by myself, and we're doing our bit right now. We're leading, we're ahead of Beaton, we have the points advantage, so everything is going to plan. It is Renoir now on the YZF behind me, so he's not a threat in the championship, but I would like him to stay between me and Jed Beaton for now. And again, we come into the sector here that we keep making mistakes, and again we've lost another position in here to Ruben Fernandez. If we look up the inside, we go really aggressive, but he's actually just managed to turn it around on the inside, and he's managed to get it. And again, we're back in behind it now, so we're going to just try and push with this guy. Ideally, I wanted to win the final race to win the title with my last race with Honda, since I had pretty of a barren run with this Honda team since joining from Husqvarna. So a minute and a half left in the race, +2. We're just about hanging on to the back of Ruben Fernandez now. We're 2 seconds a lap slower than him, so if he is given too much clear track, I see him disappearing and taking my only my second Honda victory that I'm going for. Unfortunately, we haven't had many successes with this bike. But if we can get a podium, that pretty much guarantees it. If it isn't beating who wins it, then I'll be champion after this race. And it doesn't say it was Viale in P3, so once again, looks like Fernandez is kind of pulling me along. I'm riding quite well to stick with him, but I do want to put a pass on him at some point. Can we do the same move that we did to Mxgp? Yes, we do actually. Not as aggressive that time, but we do manage to stick it up the inside and just run him a touch wide, and that is us back into the lead. Rubbings racing in Mxgp2 here. This is a nice race to finish off the season. But we fast forward out to our final lap of the season, and we've managed to pull away a bit from Ruben Fernandez. He dropped the space after I passed him, and we are going to come home to take our first title in the class, and hopefully we get an offer from some Mxgp team to move up to 450s. But it looks like everything's going to come to plan here, and everything's going to click in the final race. We look like we're going to bring it home for the victory. Only half a lap remaining. Still up, making a couple of mistakes there. The bike got a little out of shape there, more than I would have liked. And it's a Ruben van der Moosdijk now in P2 and Fernandez P3. I don't know where exactly Mxgp is, but all I know is if I win, I'm champion. But we have to defend hard there from the Kawasaki of Van der Moosdijk. But it looks like we've held off just long enough. One corner to go in this MX2 class. We're going to ride the wheels off this thing in the last little sector. Up to the line we come. We are the MX2 champion. So, confirmation. Viale ended P4, beaten down in P5. So his title was lost in the last race. He completely didn't have any answer to the race pace that we had at the front. And his Husqvarna wasn't up to it. Honda won 3. So a good showing from Honda in the final race. Maybe I was a bit harsh on him in the previous races, but we did struggle quite a bit. So yeah, season 1 done. We are champions. I'm not going to show what offers or what I'll be doing in the next season yet. I'm going to save that for the next episode, and I'll show you who I sign with. I've already signed with them, but I'm going to keep it quiet. So you'll see now in a second here that you'll see me celebrating with the title. So I think it's a good time now to call it off of the episode. I hope you have enjoyed this whole season of MX2. I'm looking forward to hopefully moving up to Mxgp for season 2, but I'll keep that a secret until the next episode. But I want to thank you all for watching the season. I hope you all did enjoy as much as I did, and I'll catch you all in the next season. Bye bye.